That first time you use AI, it feels like a superpower. You have this digital genius at your fingertips. You type a few words and whoosh, you get an answer, a paragraph, a full draft that would have taken you an hour. And you think, this is it. This changes everything. My work is about to become effortless. But then, a week later, something shifts. The magic starts to fade. The outputs feel predictable, a little generic, sometimes even completely off track. You find yourself spending more time editing and correcting than you saved in the first place. If you've ever sat there staring at a perfectly grammatical, utterly soulless block of AI text and thought, why does this feel so useless now? This video is for you. Because you've just discovered the great AI secret. The problem is almost never the tool. The problem is the interface, and that interface is you. Today, we're fixing that. The AI honeymoon phase and the inevitable plateau. Your initial experience has a name, the AI honeymoon phase. It's incredible. Why? Because AI is brilliantly efficient at replacing manual effort. It's taking a task that was a 5 on your mental effort scale and making it a 1. Writing the first draft, summarizing a meeting, brainstorming headlines, it feels like a miracle. But honeymoons end, and they end for a predictable reason. You run out of low-hanging fruit. Once you've automated the basic, obvious tasks, you start asking AI to do the harder stuff, the stuff that requires judgment, taste, and strategy. And that's when you hit the plateau of generic outputs. This is where AI starts giving you answers that are technically correct, but deeply average. Ideas that are repetitive, content that's safe, boring, and feels like it was written for no one in particular. It's like hiring a brilliant assistant who has amnesia about your business, your audience, and your goals every single time you talk to them. And this is the critical moment. Most people misinterpret this plateau. They think the AI isn't as good as I thought, or the models got dumber. So they either quit or they start frantically jumping between different tools, searching for that initial high again. They're blaming the mirror for the reflection. The core diagnosis, the guidance gap. The real reason AI starts feeling useless isn't technical, it's psychological. It happens the moment you unconsciously outsource your thinking. At first, any output is helpful because you were starting from zero. Later, only good output matters, and good output doesn't come from the AI, it comes from you through the AI. Think of AI as a raw, incredibly powerful processing engine. It has access to almost all human information, but it's missing the one thing that makes work valuable, your specific intent. It doesn't know your standards, what good enough really means for you, your audience, the specific person you're trying to reach, their pains, their language, your goals. Is this for brand awareness, a direct sale, just to inform? Your taste, that intangible style, voice, and preference that makes something yours. Without you actively providing this intent, AI does what any vast statistical model does. It reverts to the mean. It gives you the most average, most common, most likely answer. It becomes a bland averaging machine. So, the moment you type a vague prompt and hope the AI will figure out what I want, you've entered the gap. You've stopped giving direction, and you're disappointed with where you've ended up. The mindset shift. AI as a mirror, not an oracle. This requires a fundamental mindset shift that separates beginners from pros. You must stop thinking of AI as a brain, an oracle that gives answers, and start thinking of it as a mirror. A mirror doesn't create an image, it reflects what's in front of it. AI works the same way. It reflects the clarity of your thinking, a vague question gets a vague answer, the quality of your inputs, garbage in, slightly polished garbage out, and the structure of your process, chaos in, chaos out. This is why a professional using ChatGPT and a beginner using the exact same tool get wildly different results. The professional isn't using a different AI, they're holding up a different image to the mirror. The beginner says, write a blog post about productivity. The mirror reflects back generic, common advice. The professional builds an image for the mirror to reflect. They provide context. You are an expert writing for remote software engineers who struggle with focus. They're cynical about hype. Write a section arguing why most productivity apps make things worse, using a tone that's direct and slightly sarcastic. Now the mirror has something clear to reflect. Your job is not to be a prompt typist. Your job is to be a director, carefully staging the scene so the AI can capture it perfectly. The fix. Moving from random prompts to repeatable systems. Most people get stuck forever at the prompt craft stage, constantly searching for magic words. But prompts are fragile. They're one-off spells. What you need is a repeatable system, a factory, not a magic wand. A simple, powerful AI system has 5 phases. Let's build one. Phase 1, foundation, human work. This is where 80% of the quality is decided before you even touch the AI. 1. Define the goal. What does success look like for this piece? For example, the reader books a discovery call, not write a good email. 2. Define the audience. Be ruthlessly specific. Busy SaaS founders with 10+ employees who hate marketing fluff. 3. Define the format and constraints. A 300-word LinkedIn carousel post, 6 slides, simple language, include 1 counterintuitive insight. Phase 2, generation, AI collaboration. Now and only now you bring in AI using the foundation as your brief. 4. Command with context. Start your prompt by assigning a role and giving the context. Act as a veteran SaaS growth advisor. Write the carousel using the foundation I just provided. 5. Generate multiple options. Never settle for one output. Ask for 3 distinct angles or 5 different headline options. You are now curating, not just accepting. Phase 3. Curation and synthesis. Human judgment. 6. Apply taste. This is your irreplaceable value. Read the options. Which one feels right? Which sentence from option A would work better in option B? Edit with purpose. Edit to add your unique voice, a real anecdote, or a specific data point the AI couldn't know. The AI provided the clay. You are doing the sculpting. Phase 4. Templatization, system scaling. 8. Document the win. You just created a great output. Save the exact prompt chain and foundation steps you used. This is now your template. 9. Build a workflow. String these templates together. Template A for research, template B for outline, template C for first draft. This turns AI from a random idea generator to a reliable component in your production line. Deep dive example, the YouTube system. Let's make this concrete. You're a creator. The old broken way, write a YouTube script about AI. The new systematic way, the foundation doc, a separate note you make first. Goal, viewer watches 70% of the video and subscribes. Audience, skeptical small business owners, aged 35 to 55, who've been burned by tech hype. Core message, AI is a better employee, not a replacement. Structure, hook, 1 minute. Pain point, 2 minutes. Core analogy, 3 minutes. 3 practical steps, 3 minutes. CTA, 1 minute. Tone, patient, analogies from brick and mortar business, 0 jargon. The AI collaboration. You feed this foundation doc into AI with a prompt. Based on the attached foundation document, write a compelling video script. For the core analogy section, please generate 3 different analogies I could use. For example, AI is like a power tool, not a robot carpenter. The human synthesis. You take the script and the 3 analogies, you choose the best one, rewrite the hook in your own storytelling voice, and insert a real story from a client. Now you have a tailored, strategic first draft in 20 minutes, not a generic script you have to rewrite from scratch. Final message and CTA. So, if AI has started to feel disappointing, don't abandon it. Upgrade your partnership with it. Stop asking it for answers, start giving it clear problems to solve within a system you design. The people who get consistent, incredible results from AI aren't prompt wizards, they're system architects. They build the runway that allows AI to take off. Your next step, pick one task you do weekly. Before your next session, spend 5 minutes writing a foundation note. Then run your AI session from there. Feel the difference. If you want to learn more of these systematic, no-hype approaches to actually leverage AI, subscribe. We break down these frameworks weekly, turning AI from a disappointing toy into your most reliable professional partner. The power wasn't in the tool, it was always in the process. Now you know how to build one.